Yes, hello everyone. Good evening. Yes, I'm Vincent Omondi. I'm the Nairobi City SWUG co-lead. This evening we'll be having a SolidWorks session on SolidWorks 3D modeling, and this is more about mastering the core of SolidWorks features and the tools in the SolidWorks. So this evening we'll be having our speaker by the name Ntuyo Edwin, is from Uganda, is the Nairobi City SWUG, the Uganda City SWUG leader, and is a certified expert in SolidWorks. So I'll give him this opportunity to take us through this session. I can see most of us have joined, and I'm so sorry for the delays. I was experiencing some problems with my mic, so I had to switch to my PC to enable that option. So I hope you'll enjoy this session. So I would like to welcome Ntuyo to take us through this session. So I'm hopeful that you'll be attentive to master this session. So feel welcomed. And if you have any questions, you'll be just posting them in the Q&A section. And also we have got the chat section where you can post your maybe something which interests you. So let's be focused. Thank you. Welcome, Edwin.
Is my screen visible and am I audible?
Yes, it is visible and I can hear you as well.
Okay, thank you for Yes, good evening from this side in Uganda. It is almost 13 minutes to 7. I welcome all of you who have managed to join into this session. And I'm so glad that we are going to dive together as a team as we discover more. So I'm happy to present to Nairobi City SWUG and under the general network of SolidWorks user group network. So today's topic is all about SolidWorks 3D modeling, that is mastering the core features, the core feature tools in SolidWorks. Before we start, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ntuyo Edwin. I'm a SolidWorks champion. I'm a SolidWorks design expert. I'm a SolidWorks simulation profession. I'm a 3D ED student champion. I'm a leader of Uganda SWUG. I'm a mechanical production engineer at Piston Medicals, and I'm a design engineer with Cadem Technologies. For a brief highlight, I started using SolidWorks in 2022. So by then, in my time when I was in year 2 at campus university, I have 20 certificates within the field or the department of the South system. That is a combination of SolidWorks and 3D experience. I've done and handled over 25 projects from different levels, from the undergraduate, postgraduate, masters, PhD, and at company level. So we are going to dive deep, and I believe we are going to enjoy. So generally, we are mastering the core tools of the software of SolidWorks. So, but before we go deep into the software, there are some cores that one should be knowing before going deep to master the design tools. The first thing is all about to choose the correct and right environment to work with. For example, SolidWorks has over three environments. The first environment is parts, the second environment is assembly, and the last environment is drawings. So you should be conscious that if I want to generate 2D drawings that are going to be presented either to the client or to the manufacturer. In case you have done things related to design for manufacturing, then you have to incorporate in drawings tools, and then maybe you can use either SolidWorks inspection or SolidWorks drawing tools or MBD. Also, the user interface. You should be well conversant with the user interface. We are going to discover some of the user interface or the common adjustments that we can make within our user interface. You have to be keen with the units and its relevant precisions. Units here I'm meaning about, maybe we are talking about centimeter, millimeters, or inches, and its relevant precision. That is the tolerance or the diversion in case maybe I'm going to do 3D printing or to manufacture. Also, there is material applied as the core thing, because if you design anything and you don't give in the exact material, it means that you are designing, but then you are not a design engineer. There will just be a CAD designer. So there's a difference between a CAD designer and a design engineer. Then also there is global variables, if any, and this comes in, maybe I'm going to duplicate the same model for over different dimensions. That could be the height, and also this now drive us to what we call configuration tables and design tables. Then also you have to choose the right and the simplest plane to start with. Yeah, because you have also 3 planes. That is the right plane, front plane, and the top plane. So all we should be keen on how to go with it. So now let's go into our software, SolidWorks, and we see how we can deal with the units, customize, and then also we deal with our add scene. I opened up my SolidWorks and mine and it to black mode or dark mode. So for example, I just need to click R. When I click R, it will bring the welcome screen or the recent ones. However, if I don't do that, then I can just come here to welcome screen, that is Ctrl F2. It will also bring the same thing. So when it brings this, I can go now to parts, or if not this, you can tap onto this. There's an option up here. It is called the new, which is Ctrl N. So when you tap onto it, you'll be brought to this interface. So when you come to this interface, for the start, before we go deep, we use only this. However, when you tap onto advanced, then you come to other templates, and under MBD also there are so many templates. So now when you come to templates, for example, when you choose the Z axis to be up, it means that here you are going to deal more with things related to CAM design. However, for our purpose, it is in Y, and I have to go back to Novik. Novik means at the starting point of it, or the beginner level start point generally. So when I go back to Novik, it is a standard, then I have to choose parts, and then I have to tap on OK. So after me tapping on OK, by default, the software is going to load. Taking long. So the software is going to load, and this is the user interface that comes at first. So let's first set in the units, because units are the driving dimensions that we are going to be using. So down here, there is where there is MMG. So when I tap onto it and I say edit units, I'm going to be prompt to this dialog box. And within this dialog box, it's where I have different unit system. That's the millimeter. So I'm going to use the millimeter as a standard. Then in here, under length, I have here to choose the decimal points. If I choose 9, there will be 0 decimal points. However, let's go with 2 decimal points. It's the same thing to degrees. If you want them in radians, you can change them, or degrees per minute, or degrees per minute per second. So let's go with degrees. And also you can change them to any that you wish. So if I tap on OK, so now it means that now I'm going to deal within millimeters. So there's also what you call customize. When you come up here under options, there is what you call to customize. So now under to customize, I prefer more of using the mouse gestures for this idea. When I tap on the mouse gestures, I'm going to get this. So by default, it has 4. However, when you want to be quick and fast, it's better you choose to 12 gestures. And when you choose to 12 gestures, these are the ones that are going to be in part, sketch, assembly, and the drawing. So you can modify this by just tap on this and then drag it somewhere here. However, I will not drag it there. So after me doing that, I can just tap on OK. Another option we want us to see is how to control the adds in. What are adds in? Adds in, these are other specified tasks that our software can do. For example, the simulation, routing, motion analysis, MBD, composer, plastic, that is more molded design. So you find that the moment your software is ticked onto these, if any of these is ticked, it means that the software is going to take some good time to load them. So it's better you first, or it's better generally you untick all of them. If you are going to use them, then you can activate them. For example, if you're going to use the design library where you can find and the design tools, the utilities, where you find the bots, there you can activate them. But if you're not going to use them and for easy or speed of the software, then you have to forego over them. So now we have three planes. That is the top plane, right plane, and the front plane. So we have to choose the right plane. So when you come, let's now dive deep into some of the design cores that we are going to discover more when we are doing the hands-on zone. So to start with a few, when I load into this PDF that is being reflected, here are some of the design cores that we are going to discover more. So allow me to start with this that is being displayed onto my screen. It looks hectic, but there is no hectic into it. It's just the design intent that you need to master. They give you in many views and in many sections, but you have to choose the exact one you are going to use, and also you have to master the exact plane that you are going to use. So we are going to use the right plane, and then we are going to come up with this. So when I log back into my software, I'm going to tap on the right plane. Then after me choosing the right plane, I'm going to draw a circle, and of which this circle is going to be into, now I'm following this section, the downer section where there is section AA. I'm going to draw 2 circles. I'm going to draw a circle of 30 millimeters, and then also I draw a circle of 50 millimeters. So when I come back to my software, it means that I need to go to the right plane. I tap on sketch. Then when I come to circle, I have to choose right plane. So I'm going to put in 30 and 50 millimeters and 50 millimeters. So I have this. So, but when I have this, you find that for me on my case, when I'm just drawing up like this, the dimensions, they come in automatically. There is a box up there for me to put in the dimensions to be speed instead of going back to smart dimensions. So it's easy for that. You just right click anywhere, and there is up here, it's called sketch numeric input. When you activate it, then you can put in the dimensions directly without you going to smart dimensions. However, if it's not active, then you have to first draw a line, and then you go to smart dimensions, and then you come in. So for this case, I will activate it to be speedy. So when I dimension like this, in most cases, we're going to find that you need to edit this dimension, because in a way, the way they are being shown up, they're in terms of diameter and from circumference to circumference. So I can just tap on this dimension. I just come here to leaders, and you find that I can either specify to display as a radius, also display as radius, and also I can decide to display open ladder. So when I say open ladder and I say tick, you find that now the dimensions as a bit changed. It's a display. So this changes on maybe how you are drawing up and also its application. So when I tap on it once, for now just choose display as diameter and it will be back. So I'm going to extrude. In my exclusion, there is an option of me going to sketches and then I tap on extrude. However, in my point of view, that is kind of more time consuming. In my option, I'll just tap on S on my keyboard. So when you tap on S, these are shortcuts. So you find that most of the shortcuts in here and the commands are going to be for sketch. However, when you come here in sketch and for example, for example, for my case, this one good boss is there. So let me just add in something called Extrude Revolve. So I'm adding in Revolve. So the moment you type in any command, when you know it, the command comes here. So for me, I'm going to add in Revolve boss. I just tap on it and drag it within this environment. So it will be added there. So when I press S, the commands are there. So for me, I'm going to go to Extrude boss without me going to the other tab. And now you find that now I have to extrude the boss over 120 millimeters. I'm going to extrude 120 millimeters, and when I'm extruding, I type in here 120 millimeters. So you find that it is going in one direction. So now, if it's going in one direction, but when I want it to go maybe in the opposite direction, under blind, I can tap on reverse, or under the same blind, there is an option down, so I can tap on mid plane. So when I tap on mid plane, you find that the 120 is going to be divided into two, whereby the first one, it's going to be, the first side is going to be 60, and also the other side is going to be 60. And it is all within here. So I just say on OK, and you find that now I have my first part as that. I have my first part as that, and when you go back, you find that yes, fine, you are done with that one, but there is this extension that goes up. This extension that goes up, and it is 80 millimeter. Hope you are seeing the 80 millimeter. 80 millimeter from the center here up to its top. It is 80 millimeter, and also it is the same way. It has 30 and 50 millimeters diameters. So what we are going to do is, for this case now, we are going also to introduce in something simple. It is called reference plane. So we need to offset a plane that we are going to draw onto, because the moment I use the front plane and I draw onto this front plane and then I extrude boss, yeah, it can work in two ways. The first way, I can also offset the sketch to be starting from this surface, or I can just extrude and then I delete the inner surfaces. However, that will be more hectic in my point of view. So I'm going to come to reference plane, I tap on sketch, and then when I tap on sketch, I'm going to give in my first reference plane as the front plane. When I tap on the front plane, you find that now this is another plane that is coming up, and the more I increase here, this plane, the more it moves aside. So I want it to be at 80 millimeters. When I tap yes, now you find that I have plane 1. I have created plane 1, and it's also being reflected within my design area. So when I tap on plane 1 and I tap on sketch, I just need to come to this and I put in 50 millimeters. So I just need to give in my smart dimensions and I give in 50 millimeters. That is the diameter that I'm having at the moment. So after me having this, I can extrude boss. This is S, and then I say extrude boss. When I say extrude boss, now for this case, it's now also in this. And when I just say just extrude boss, you'll find that one of the surfaces here, they will not match up. However much I say blind, and I reverse it, and I give it any dimensions here, kind of like this. So here it will be kind of tangential, but these will not match up. So what we do for this case is you just come to blind and then you tap up to next. If you tap on up to next, it will automatically sense and it will create in something called intersection lines within. However, also when you tap to the surface and you tap on the surface, also it will come up perfect. The best way for this is up to the next. The software will sense automatically the next point, and when you tap on yes, this is what I have. However, I still need to, so now I can hide this plane. However, I still need to draw here an extrude boss or a hole. So I just need to tap on this face, and I can go back to sketch, and I say sketch on this. So when I get my sample, and then I have to give in 30. So this is the 30, and same one now is, now I can do what they call exclude cut. So now the exclude cut in the same way, the best way is also to tap on. If you saw next, yes, it will come out perfectly and it will be okay. That is perfect. Now there is a trick on up to the surface. When you say up to the surface and you tap on the inner surface, it will be okay. However, most cases, when you tap on the outer surface, it will even cut this other opposite part. So if you are going to use up to the surface, the best way is only to show the inner surface. And if you are going to use up to the next, the software will automatically sense the next surface to put there a wall. So when I say tick, it will come in that way. And when I decide to go for a section view, and I change this, you find that I have my all perfectly coming up. So after me having that, you find that now I'm remaining with only giving in the other extensions on the or at the ends. This could be a flange. This could be a T-flange that is connecting different pipes that could be used in water or in any factory that deals with juice or with flow of sap. So you find that now I'm first going to draw onto this extension that I have drawn up. And when you come onto my section, you find that this extension here, it is of diameter 100 millimeter diameter. So I'm going to go back to my software. I choose onto this, I say sketch, and you find that now I'm going to draw here something of 100 diameter in terms of centimeters. Okay, this is the one I have. Yes, and with that, you find that onto this there is a lot being attached. So you find that there are these 6 O's that are being mounted onto this, and these 6 O's you can only view them when you come to this other left bottom view of it. You see that there are 6 here, there are 6 times diameter of 12. So it means that there are 6 O's, each with 12 millimeter diameter. However, they are starting along the horizontal line. So I'm just going to come in and I just draw this center line, just like this center line. I have that one, and they have told me this sample is only 12 centimeter diameter. Yes, it is there. I've pressed it, but it is not fully defined. It is still underdefined. So the reason why it's still underdefined, it is not being specified its distance from the center. Also up to where it is located. So you need to go back to the drawing, and you find that now there is blue dotted, or the one that we call a construction sample, that is of diameter 75. So you need to draw that diameter 75. When you come back to the software and you find that now you need to draw something of 75, so that's the 75 I have. And when I tap onto it, I can specify it to be construction geometry. So this is the construction geometry. And when you tap on the center of the circle and also onto this, and you make it coincident, so it will become fully blue, sorry, full black. It means that it is fully defined. So without wasting time, then you have to make these circles to be 6 because there are 6. So the best way to do this, it is not copy and paste. It's all about what we call patterns. And in Sketch, we have only two. We have circular pattern and linear pattern. However, when it comes to the features, there are over 7 patterns. So you tap on the drop down and then you tap on linear pattern. So the linear pattern, you have to choose the center of the torsion, which is this axis. And also, when you come to the entities here, the most important things, these ones here, X and Y should be 0. And then here, the angle of rotation here, the spacing should be 360 degrees because I'm going to go over the whole revolution. I should consider equal spacing, and then here I have to consider 6. And then when I come to the entities, then I just need to tap onto this, and now they are going to be rotated 6 times all over, and they are being reflected within the yellow. So when I say tick, everything seems to be okay on my side. However, when you look through, this all here is being counted. However, I'm doing this. What I'm going to do is, you just need to come, and then there's what you call now the convert entities within the software. Convert entities, what it does is, it brings up the selected edges or sketches of the previous sketch or the previous feature you have, and then it converts it into a sketch to the current sketch you are using. So when I tap on convert entities and I tap on this sample here, it will be edge 1, and when I say tick, you find that also now this other sample, it's being converted into. So what you are going to do is, now from there, now I'm going to go to my Xcode boss, and by default the software is going to select what should be excluded automatically. So now you find that it's going this side, but within the software it's supposed to go the other side round, and this I'm going to determine it from my section. If you come to the section, it is telling you that it goes down 10 millimeters, and it is being offset from the top 5 millimeters. So when I come back to my software, I'm going to change the direction, and here I'm going to put in 10 millimeters. So after inputting in 10 millimeters, you find that why? Because I'm seeing that it is originating from the face of which I'm not interested in. So within the feature, there is another option here which is called from. So under from, there is a sketch plane. So I have to tap on the drop down and I say offset. When I say offset, remember I'm offsetting it 5. So I'm going to put in 5. I just put in 5 automatically. They're in millimeters. There is no need for the dimensions, unless maybe you want to put in other dimensions in terms of you excluding. So what I do, I just leave it. Now when I put in 5 millimeters, you find that it is moving again in the opposite direction. So I just need to reverse the direction, and now it's going to be moving from where it is being highlighted as if it is a yellow highlight. So this is my body, and it's being offset 5 millimeters from this, and I will say okay. So when I say okay, you find that the sketch is down here that is highlighted in blue, and the body is on the other side. So this is what I have at this time when I say Control 7, that is the isometric view. Because from Control 1, it gives you the front view. Control 2, the back view. Control 3, side view. Control 4, also side view. Control 5, top view. Control 6, bottom view. Control 7, isometric view. Control 8, front view. Control 9, it gives you nothing, and Control 0 gives you nothing. So you should also be familiar with those shortcuts. So I have this at a moment, and you find that this is perfectly done. However, also on these other opposite sides, I have the same thing. So when I come to the section, I'm going to draw there this angle where it goes for 65 of diameter, 65, and it is also offset a distance of 5 millimeters from the face. So when you come back, you need to just tap onto this face, you select sketch, it will automatically change, come to the sample, give in 65. So that's my 65. And don't forget, the moment, for example, I just do this. So let me just do it, but I'm going to reverse it. There is something I want to show you. So now I've done my step 5, and I have to offset it the other side round, reverse the direction, and then you need to offset here 5 millimeters. You need to offset it 5 millimeters in the other direction round, and it's okay. So for example, I've drawn something like this, and that there is a mistake, because when you just do like this, you find that if I have my section, you find that there is a blockage of the fuchsia that you have just come in with. So that's a mistake. So if you do that mistake, there is no need for you to say now I'm going to sketch on this and then I extrude both through all, or I delete this feature. So what you just need to do is you just come to the feature area tree, you expand it, and then you just need to edit the sketch. So you right click on the sketch and you say edit sketch. So when you say edit sketch, you can come back to this. So when you come back to this, you just need to select either this or the other one, or this one. You just need to convert entity. So I'm going to go to convert entity, and when I go to convert entity, you find that now I'm just going to choose this and I set it. After me doing that, then I exit the sketch by allowing the changes. So when allowing the changes, you find that now this one is all perfectly, there is no any interference. In the same point of view, when I go back and edit feature, so now today I'm editing the feature, you find that we have this option of merge results. This one here, it is used. The best example I can give you about the merge results is that it's going to be one body. You don't need to combine the body. And in this, it is more used when you're going to do something related to casting and manufacturing. It means that the moment you say merge results, it means that we are going to use the same mode all over this. So this one there is when it should be used and when it should be used. So that's fine. I have merged it, and you find that I need to draw the same thing this side. So there is no need now for me again to draw the same side. There's what we call the mirror entity. So now the mirror entity comes in. You use the mirror entity, you make sure that the plane you are going to use to mirror, it's almost symmetrical. That's why in the first point of view, when I was extruding this body, the first body here, I selected mid plane, knowing that at some time t I will do what? I will mirror it, and that is the perfect point, because you are going to find someone that's symmetrical. So when you go to mirror entities, then mirror face or plane, you have to expand, and then it shows not the front plane. So you need to do the front plane, so you need to choose the right plane. So when I choose the right plane, you find that it is in the middle. of what I want to mirror. When I come to features, then I need to select this boss. So from there I can just set it. So it's going to be mirrored along the other way around. So you find that now everything from this, you seem to be there, but you are not yet there. There are some hidden features that we have not had. So for example, there is the fillet. There are some fillets of 2 millimeters. If you look clearly onto this section, we have fillets of 2 millimeters. And also when you come to the isometric, they are being reflected, and also on the top plane here, top view, they are being reflected. So we are going to add this for the 2 millimeters. So you need to go to the fillet. You have to choose the first fillet. We shall, as we are moving, we shall see different fillets where they are being applied. You have to choose symmetrical, because also there is asymmetric, but symmetrical, then you have to choose here 2 millimeters. Then I need to come, you make sure that you zoom in, and then you choose the right edge you wish, that and that. Same to this, and also the same way to this. So from there you can set it, and you find that now your sketch is perfectly okay. According to what we have here, this is perfect, okay. And another way is we're about to add because this is a flange. For example, this is a plastic flange that is going to be used. However, in my point of view, I've never seen a plastic flange where it's going to be used with boards, because this face, it is going to be mounted with a gasket, and then also you add on another flange for connectivity. So this is a metallic automatically, so I need to come to edit material not specified, right click, edit material, and you find that you have a lot of materials in here. So you have to make sure that you know the material you are going to apply. For example, I'm going to apply steel, and you find that maybe I'm going to apply stainless steel. There is chrome stainless steel, and let me just say stainless steel, which is, let's take galvanized steel. So when you go with galvanized steel, you find that it has its properties here. For example, going to do simulations, it has the elastic modulus, portion is ratio, mass density, yield strength. So when I apply and I say close, it's going to be applied in this way. So that's how you can deal with the circular pattern in sketch, and also to mirror. So if I'm to move on to, could be this, let's do this one here. This is another exercise that we can do to master some of the design intent of SolidWorks. So when you look into this, it means that we are going to use, let me choose the front plane according to the isometric view, the way it is being displayed, a front plane, and then I first draw the sketch of the circular sketches that are being painted or highlighted into pink. So when I come back to my software, I can save this, and I say, yes, this is part 1, code B. Okay. So after me closing in this, I just need to click Control N. I just tap on parts, and then I open up another feature. So into this, you find that now we're going to choose the front plane of it. After choosing the front plane, you are going to first draw the vertical construction line and 2 horizontal construction lines. So we're just now going to come in and draw. So for this time round, I'm using the midpoint plane, the midpoint line. So when I tap onto it, and the midpoint line, when I tap onto it and I go one side, it is midpoint, so it will go either way. Same maybe to another one here like this, it will go either way. Also to the vertical one from here, it will go either way. My main focus is to make this one construction. So you tap on one, you click Control, tap on the second one without you releasing Control, and the third one. When you tap all of them, then down here there's what you call for construction, so I can convert them for construction, and this is what I have. So when I come back, you find that I have two centers, and these centers are at a distance of 9. So when I come back to my software, I can just tap on this, and this after me tapping on smart dimensions, and I put in 9. I press now, things are okay, and it comes fully defined. And now I'm now going to sketch the first one. It has a radius of 50. It means that it has a diameter of 100. So when I come back to my sample, and remember that this 50, it is originating from the upper point of center point 50 and radius 46. So when I come to this, you find that I have two samples. They are there, and this sample here, it has a radius of 50. So what does it mean? It means that it has a diameter of 100. Okay, so the second one, it has a radius of 46. If you don't have a calculator, just put in 46 times 2 in case you don't know. You press enter, it will be 92. So there's no need for you to use a calculator. You just type in direct within the software. In case you want someone to know how you got this, let's edit this. That means you will say equal sign 46 times 2. When you tap that, it will be as if it is an equation or a linked dimension. So when you tap on OK, onto it, it will be with a sign of an equation. So when I tap onto this, I'll come and know that you said 46 times 2. So I can be able to know where you generated all these dimensions from. So when I tap onto this and I say display as radius, it's fine. Also this one maybe display it as radius. So when I come back, now I have to consider this downer, the downer center. You find that I have 41 and 36 radius. So when I come back, I just need to sketch and also to sketch. So you find that I have, tap onto it, we have 41 and 36. So you find that I have equals 41 as a radius times 2, because this is diameter, the one I'm putting in. It comes into that way. Same to this. This is okay. Same to this other one here. It is 37 equals 37 times 2. You press enter, it goes as an equation, then you tap on OK. So after having this, you find that now you need to this is 46. Which one is related to this one is for this, and you find that radius 50 and radius 46. So this one here, it was a radius, and it was supposed to be radius. This was supposed to be radius equals 46. Tap on enter. Yeah, so radius 46 and diameter is in that, so you display the radius to be okay. So after me having this, you find that now I have to delete some of the lines. So you find that these two here are going to come in. The first thing to master here is that the outer sketch is the one that is going to complete this cycle. So when you come onto this, now let's go and look at what we call trim entities. Trim. So trim, there is power trim and closest to trim. So when I start with power trim, let me demonstrate how it works. So when I tap on power trim, the first one up, I just need to click and hold my mouse, and then I move. and I move. But when I move and I did something that is important that I want, don't release the mouse. Just go back and pass through that diamond red symbol. So when you pass into it, you find that what you deleted that it was more important, it's going to be brought back. Same, it will be brought back in that way. So this is what I have, and you find that I just need to come to my trim. I just need to trim off this. I don't need it, and this I don't need it anymore. So you find that I have this and this. So when they come here, they're intersecting. But in the intersection, you find that I deleted something that I wanted of radius 36. And so if I have done that and I don't have the control back, I can just easily sketch something here, and I can re-give it my dimensions. I say this is okay. However, I need to display this one's radius, and I need it to be 36. So this is what I have, and you find that it's going to come in like this, and you need also to delete, and you confirm that you have such a sketch, such a figure on your sketch. So you're going to come into this sketch, and then you need to delete off of this. After you deleting off of that, this is 50, this is 46, this is 9, this is diameter 82. I need to display this one. I need to display this one as a radius, which is radius. You have radius 41, radius 37. This is radius 36. It's supposed to be radius 37. Radius 37. Control Z. Where is radius 37? It is this one here. You need to make this and this to be concentric, to be sharing the same center. Then you can change this to be radius 37 if it doesn't have any constraint. So when you give in 37, there is a constraint, so you need Control Z. Then let me first reverse this. Yes, and yes. So when I come back, you find that you need to draw this as one and as the second one. Then you need to give in, if I specify and I say okay, that one is okay, and also I specify this to be okay, you need to give this one to display as radius and this one as radius. Then you can now specify that this one can be 41 and this one here can be 37. So I can now come back to my trim entities. If I trim off of this, same, I trim off of this, same way I need to come and trim off of this, and same way I need to come and trim off this. So you find that finally we have a sketch like this that is relating to what is in pink. So after me having this, it means that I have to go on and then I extrude it 20 millimeters. So after me having that sketch, and then I'm going to extrude it 20 millimeters. By these 20 millimeters, I have to make sure that they are mid-plane. So I have extruded 20 millimeters mid-plane, and I'm going to say okay. So I have something related to this, that is this one, but now I need to come up with these middle pipes, and of which these middle pipes, they're of diameter 12 millimeter diameter. So I just need to come to my top plane, and I need to sketch 12 diameter millimeter, and I need to exclude them. I need to exclude both, and I have not specified the distance onto which it is passed off. So I'm going to exclude both, and within my exclusion box, I need to make sure that I just exclude it because they have not given me the dimension onto which it is passing by. So you can give it 110, it could be much, so give it 105. So you can give in 105 millimeters. You press OK. So after me giving 105, it's okay. I have to merge results, and I say now it is fine. So after me doing this, then I can also come again to this face. I say sketch. Then I need to give in the other hole because it has a hole into it, and it is 10 millimeter through hole. 10 millimeters. So you need to come and sketch onto this 10 millimeter. After sketching 10 millimeter, then you can come to exclude boss. It is supposed to be exclude cut, and then you can say through all. Then you have something related to this, which is okay. However, you need now to match this. You need to move this one how many times? 1, 2, 3, because I've drawn from top to bottom. So I'm going to rotate them 3 times. So there you just need to linear pattern, circular pattern. Circular pattern now, the rotation face should be either this, or I can just give in just an edge. So when I give in an edge, and you find that now I need to move this circular pattern 3 times. So when you give in an edge for this inner one, it will be almost rotating to this. However, when I change to give in the outer one, it will change up to the outer. So that's the difference. When you give in the inner, it will be for inner. When you give in the outer, it will be for outer. So in case you set tick, it will come in, but in here, you have only given a circular pattern for the cut. When you come into your features you have selected, you have only given in a cut. You have not given in the exclude boss. So you have also to make sure that you have tapped the exclude boss, and you have tapped the exclude boss and the cut. So there are also some consideration you have to make. So when you just tap onto this, it will show you errors. So when it shows you error, first come down and first disengage the geometry pattern. Remember, the geometry pattern is active. When you say tick, it will show you errors. So come and disable the geometry pattern, and when you say tick, after you disengaging the geometry pattern, it's going to come in. The reason why it was refusing with geometry pattern being considered is this is sketch. It is not for one. It is not within the same. The outer circulars, they are not concentric. So you have to consider that option. In most cases, when you come to circular pattern and refuses, you have to play with other options here. Geometry pattern is also another factor to consider. So after you doing this and you try, yes, everything is okay, you know you are not yet there, because when you come into a section view and you set tick section view, you find that this one, it is hollow, because for example, I'm pouring there some fluid, it can come and pass through this and this, but from bottom and top there is a blockage here, or these faces here. So how are you going to do this? So the easiest way for this, you come to direct editing, then you have to come to delete face. So when you delete face, you have to choose delete and patch. So I delete and patch, tap on this, tap onto that, rotate down, zoom in, tap onto this and this. So there I've selected the faces I want to delete. You choose delete and patch, then you set tick. So when you delete and patch, they are going to be removed off. However, when you forget to say delete and patch and you just say delete, let me show you what can happen when you just say delete. So when you just say delete, my whole body is going to be converted into a surface tool, and you see up here that it has now become to be surfaces. So there you are converting a body to a surface, because when you delete, you have to patch, as in you have to seal off those holes, all those gaps being created by you deleting. So that's when you need to say delete and patch, and things can be okay. So with that, then things can be perfect. Okay. Also, same way of material application, you apply the material, and yeah, now things can be okay. So this is all about this. And one more other technical one we can talk about is, we can talk about this, because within this we are going to explore more of when can we use the horror wizard, in case I'm being told to use the horror wizard. So when I come to this is isometric, and now I need to draw something related to this. So I'm going to use the top plane, and then I'm going to sketch, and then I'm going to extrude 20 millimeters. So you have to coordinate with the different sketches being brought up to you. So with this, to minimize time, you're going to use the mirror entity within your drawing. So when you come and you say Control N, and I open up another part, I'm going to choose the top plane, and I'm first going to put in the center line. So I'm going to draw this in and this in. So after me doing that, I can, this outer one, I have two. So I have this, I have another one here, and probably I have another one there. After me having those, I have a line to draw onto this. So, and same way, I have a line to draw from this to that. So after me drawing this, then I can come and I say, maybe if I'm to trim off for this, that is perfect, and trim off this. So you have to be keen, you trim off also that. So you have to make sure that you zoom in and you trim off, could be this. So you trim off, but after you trimming off, make sure that you just tap onto the point and make it tangential. Tap onto this, make it tangential. To be much sure, tap on this and this, make them vertical. So after you doing that, this one here, it's not tangential. So tap on this and this, make them to be tangential. Same thing, come down one, zoom in, tap on the line, control, and tap onto this, and also make them to be tangential. So you have something related to this, but you have not given the dimensions. If you remember the dimensions from this center up to this, it was 100 millimeters, which is perfect. Okay, now, and when you go back, they are telling you that the outer one, it has a radius of 20. So this one here, it has a radius of 20. I'm doing in millimeters. And then the inner one, now the inner one, you come down here, it has a diameter of 25. So this one here, it has a diameter of 25. So you find that you have something related to this. So after having something related to this, we don't have time, or there's no time to draw the upside down. So you just come to mirror entities. Then you need to show that I'm going to mirror along entities. To mirror, I'm mirroring almost everything. After mirroring everything, but I have to exclude the center lines. I exclude the center lines, and I exclude this arc. So I'm just mirroring these other parts. Then I'm going to mirror about the center. So after mirroring about the center, I can set that okay. So After me accepting, now I can come to trim entities. At first I explained the power trim. Let me explain trim to closest. So when I tap on trim to closest, and down here there are other options. So when I say keep trimmed entities and construction geometry, and also I can eliminate I ignore the construction geometry. So for trim to closest, you just tap on it. It's like a scissor. It cuts off that. And when you enable these two options, your line, it will be whatever you trim, it will be displayed as a construction geometry, and you can't trim a construction line. Same way, I have trimmed off that, and I can trim off that. So after me doing that, what I'm meaning with is I need to give this one here radius of 50. So I just need to come tap onto this, give it radius of 50. So after me giving it radius of 50, now everything becomes black. It means that it is fully defined. So I just now to come and extrude it 20 millimeters. For this case, I think I don't need to use mid-plane, or either way I can just come and tap on blind, and I decided to take it up or down. So let me take it up, and I say it's okay, it is fine. It comes into this way. So after it coming into this way, remember again I have to come and draw an extrude going up, which is 60 millimeters from this bottom here, and into this is 90 diameter millimeters. So I just need to come onto this, tap onto it. There is an option here. Maybe if it goes away, then you have to come back to sketch. After you tapping on the face, and then you say sketch, then you can come to the sample and give in a diameter of 90 millimeters. 90 millimeter diameter. Then you have to extrude it. And then you have to extrude it 60. You have to extrude it 60 millimeters. Where is the 60 coming from? The 60 is coming up when I add the 40 and the 20, and gives me 60, and it's being reflected along the other side round. So I'm almost done, but now I have to draw. There is here where you see blue, this is an extrude cut, and probably maybe there is a bolt that's going to enter in. So there are two ways for this. You can first draw the first sample of diameter 70, then you extrude cut 20, and also after that you can also draw now on that face generated at the bottom. You draw a sample of diameter 30, extrude cut 40. However, when you look onto this, it is in the line of, it looks like a bolt. So now this brings us to another idea of what we call all wizard. So for that case, I'm going to use all. However, also you can go through that way and extrude cut twice. So I'll go through all wizard, and all wizard has over like 4 functions. It has all wizard, it has advanced all threads, and stored wizard. So for this case, let's talk about the all wizard. So when you tap on the all wizard, it brings a lot of alls within this. So to master this, you need to be doing continuous practice within using these features. So in my point of view, you can come and use the legacy all, because that is in the form of a legacy all. So when you come and use a legacy all, you have to come here under type. We have a route. So when I tap on countersink, it is being reflected here, and of which this one here, it has a point or like a conical structure at the end, and of which it's not what we are interested in. We are interested in something related to a counter borer. We have a counter borer and we have a countersink. So when you say countersink, there's also like a cone like a structure, something like a something rated like a chamfer that is attached to it, but we shall go with the counter borer. And when you come to a counter borer, you have to specify end conditions to be brined. After you specifying end conditions to be brined, you have to come in here. I want you to be keen with the dimensions you are going to be putting in. So I want you to look here. The first diameter up here is 40, and yet for us our diameter up is supposed to be 70. So instead of 40, you come down here. 40 is here, and it is the C, and it is the C counter diameter. It is 40. So you just tap into it and you make it to be 70. You double tap. When you double tap, you can delete and make it 70. So it's going to change from here to be 70. And when you come here to the diameter, this lower diameter, ours was 30. So on this diameter here, this is the other diameter here, which is 20. Then you have to double tap into it and you make it to be 30. After you making it 30, so now we have the first depth up here. Here it's reflecting that it is 20. However, for our case, we need it to be 20. That is perfect. It is 20. And the other depth down is supposed to be 40. So a total, I'm supposed to have 60 depth. So when you come to, there is this 100 here. The 100 shows from top to bottom, which is here. And for us, it's supposed to be 60. So when I tap onto that, then you have to come to position. When I come onto position, I just tap onto this upper face. When I tap onto this upper face, then I can tap the middle of it. When I tap the middle, it's going to be reflected like that. So after it being reflected, I can just say tick. So now, and the whole, it has come in this format here. When I go to my section view, you find that I have it like this, and it's only being reflected over here that is shaded blue. However, for my case, it is this one here that is not shaded blue. So you can minimize all that by utilizing what you call the wall wizard. When you go to threads, it means that now here I want to put in the threads. However, when it comes to threads, they specify either you are given the which kind you want to put in. Is it M15, M20? Yeah, so for the main focus, it was all about how to use the wall wizard. And after that, everything seems to be okay, and indeed it's okay. So that is now perfect and okay. So I'll jump onto another one that is kind of more technical, and for that one here, I'll be using what you call the Revolve boss. I'm going to jump onto the Revolve boss and the shell. This one here on the other end round. I mean this one here, if I'm to display it all over my screen. So let's try to go for this. This is a Revolve boss. We are going to use a Revolve boss and a shell. So generally, this is like a tire of a motorcycle or a tire of a bicycle. So into this, we are going to come to your front plane. So when I come to my front plane within my software here, when I come to the front plane, I'm first going to draw a center line, two center lines, in a way that they are going to be in this format and in this format here. So these are the center lines I'm having on my computer, and you find that now I just need to draw this sketch that is into section B. So I'm just going to draw this sketch, and also in drawing it, I'm going to utilize what we call the mirror command. So I'm going to just come in. I just do something related to this. So when you are drawing a line and you find that you have ended the end point and you want an arc or a curve, you just come back and then you move apart like this. So the curve can come in any format you wish, just so about you to model it. In case doesn't come out, so it means that you just need to come back and play with it. In case it's in this format, come back, play with it along the other way around. So for example, I'm playing it along with this. So I have played it coming up with this. So maybe if it doesn't come out, then you need to modify it you have to modify it, or if it fails, then there is what you call 3-point curve. So a 3-point curve, you just tap the first point, you tap the second point, then the third point, so about you giving it the radius or the curvature. You just move inwards or outwards, it will be giving you what you need. That's the 3-point curve. So I've drawn up this, I've come, and now I want to give in something related to, I can give in, for example, another curve just for example with this, and maybe that, and then maybe I need to seal this up like this. So for example, I just have something related to this. So my main focus to draw something related to this. So you find that here the center distance is 44.5. So you find that when you come to dimensions, you tap onto this edge center line. When you be on one side, it brings on one side, but when you cross and be on both sides, it brings the dimension you want, which is 44.5. So I just have something related with that at first. And remember, these ones here, they are supposed to be tangential. So we just tap onto this and make it tangential. This one's already tangential. So, and now this one here is radius 32. So tap onto it and give it a radius of 32. Radius of 32. So it has come up like that. And after you giving it radius of 32, you find that now the way this curve as in the curve you have, the way it's being brought up is not the way you want. So that means that either you can drag this point, or the easiest way is now you need to come and can remove it, and generally you can delete and you say yes, and then you can come and use the 3-point arc. When you use the 3-point arc, you give it the way up to this, and you give it a curvature that you may want. With that, you can also drag this one to be upwards, but remember you need to give them a tangential, just a tangential relationship like that. Control Z. So this is the tangent. I've not yet given the tangential relationship, but let me first now give in. There is this angle here. This angle is 38.5, and this angle is just along this arc. So what we are going to do is to give in that angle along the arc. What you do is you need to go to Smart Dimensions, tap on the first point of the arc or last point of the arc, and tap at the center of the arc. First point of the arc, last point of the arc, and at the center of the arc. So when you come to that, you find that it is in 38.5. However, for you, when you give in, it comes up. Yes, it is fine. So if this is the one I have, what you just need to do is now you just need to drag off this, coming the other side round. And also when you tap onto, when you zoom in and you realize this fillet here, this was a fillet. However, in most cases, we take a fillet for your case to be a curve. In the end, it may disturb you, so you can try to give in something related to, let me get its radius here to be 32. So when you tap onto this, and you give it this, and you make it horizontal, so you find that there is a lot of things that you are going to mess up with. So the best way now to start up with, you need to keep this one as a fillet. So for that case now, what you are going to do is, I just want to show you the errors that make when you don't realize a fillet at first, and most cases you take it as a curve. So when I come and I do something just like this, and then maybe I just come in with my arc like this, just an arc, and I seal this one off. So after me sealing it, now I can say this one here, I can first say that the diameter from this bottom up to the other end, it is 485. So you need to come and say the diameter from this up to this on either side, it is 485. So you have 48, it is 45, it is 458, 458, and you say that is perfect. That's what you have. That is what you have as your diameter, 458. And you find that also this upper one, it is 673. From here now, from here up to for this, by the bottom one, you find that it is 673. So this is 673. You set it, and you find that now you have something related to this. So after you having something related to this, so from here, it is when now you can say, now let me give in a fillet of radius 32, and you see how will it behave. 32, when you tap into this, it comes up perfectly, and you say now it's okay. So you find that now the arc that you wanted, and also I'm drawing the outer surface, you find that now it is trying to come up the way you may need it. So after me coming up with that, now I can come and give in this other angle of 38.5. So I just need to come to smart dimensions now. I first need to locate the center for this, and its center is almost the other side round. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Y. So I just need to come and give in the dimensions. So smart dimensions, I need to tap at its end, Control, tap on the end, and come and tap on its center. When I tap onto it, it is 38.5. So it is 38.5, and then I say yes, this is what I have, and I am good to go with this. So what I'm going to do next is there is one dimension that I'm remaining with, and that is the 44.5. So when I come back to this, now I can give me dimensions from this point up to this point. When you're on one side, it will show one side. When you cross the other side, it will show it as 44.1. 44.1, I think so. Yeah, so it is 44.5, sorry. So it is 44.5. and now things are perfectly okay. However, in this case, I want you to be so keen. You find that now this is not intersecting the center. However, for your case, you find that now the sketch is intersecting the center, and there is this one's called there's something here. When you zoom in perfectly, you find that now your sketch is intersecting the other way around, of which you don't. What you can do is simple. You can just drag. You can just point and drag. So if it refuses, that means that you have to edit in some components. I can edit it, can move this and this same way. I can delete this on my side, delete this on also. You say it's fine, you can be deleted. Then you know that you have this curve, so you need to bring in this a bit, come, go away, and then you need to just draw an arc, 3-point arc. Tap on the first one and also on the last one, and you give in a simple curvature. After giving in a simple curvature, make sure that these ones here, make sure that this and this, they become tangential. So after making them tangential, then it's when now you can come in and we give in the dimensions could be this and this, with its center to be 38.5. There's a relationship error which is originating from this, so we need to remove that to be perfect. And so you need to tap on this, control for this, and come to its center. Where is the center of it? So you need to tap onto this and the center. Small dimension, come to the center, zoom in on this and onto this. I need to give in 38.5. So it comes in, but again comes in as too heavy, so you can drag it and bring it somewhere that you wish it to be. So after dragging in, then also you can come and give in the other dimensions that maybe you wish, which is 3, which is 4, 5, 4, 5, 3. Yeah, so after me giving in that, now I can now mirror it the other side round. So I decided to mirror, so I'm going to mirror this and this, but also this, and I'm mirroring them along this. So I have something related to this, and you find that it's okay. So that's what at the moment person I may be having at the moment. And when I decide maybe to do a revolve boss along with this, so I can come and I say revolve boss. So I'm going to revolve boss this component. So I've gone for swept. I have to go to revolve boss. This one's that I'm going to revolve boss along with this. So you find that now I'm revolving along the center, and here should be 360. When I tap yes, I find that I have something related to this. So when I have something related to this, then I have to give in a shell. So when I decide maybe I say come to a shell, and for example, I'm giving it a shell of 10 and I tap onto this, I have to say shop preview. So you find that there's something. So for example, I give it a shell of 16 and I tap on preview. I just tap on the face I want to give in a shell. So when I say tick, you find that I have given in a shell, and maybe when I'm to cross section, so you find that this sketch, it was intersecting. So there is you have to go back and edit the sketch. So for example, I edit it up to that point of view, and now I come back. So you find that if I'm to go for a section, you find that I have something related to this as a tire. So when I have something related to this as a tire, and you find that I have to, for example, I have to put, so this is the tire we are trying up to come up with. So if I try to bring in these other gaps, you find that now here you don't need to use what they call Xcode cut. The main point of here to use is what we call warp. So here we are going to use warp, and in warp we are going to follow this detail at point C. So when I go back, I just need to give in a plane, and for this case you can come to the top plane as your reference. So when you come to the top plane as your reference, you can give it to be, you give it just as long as it is above the surface. It should be 1. Immediately above the surface, I can give it maybe 160. Could it be far? That could be far. I can give it, yeah, let me give it 160. I say it is fine. So now I'm going to come to this plane, and it is onto which I'm going to draw on. So I can just tilt. If I want a clear point of view, I just tilt and I press the space bar, and then I decide, let me view this. So I have something related to this, and I need to come center line, and I need to draw just my center lines like this in this point of view. So after me drawing the center lines, I want to draw this section, which is CC. So this section CC, I need to draw first of all a 45 somewhere here, and I need to give in the dimensions between this and this to be angle 45. So after me doing that, now I need to come and draw just a simple line like that, same like this, and just like that I can remove this, and I need to make sure that I need to make this and this, all of them to be parallel. After I'm making them parallel, I can make them to be symmetric. So after I'm making them symmetric, I can come and I give dimension from this up to this to be 10, to be just 10. Then after that, I can make this and this to be perpendicular to each other. So after I'm making it perpendicular, I can I have 114, so I can decide from, but remember it is horizontal, so you need to delete off this relationship, and you need to make this one to be not Ctrl Z. So you need to make this one here to be horizontal like this. So I can give this dimension from here up to the center of this, up to the bottom of this, to be something like 144, 114. Yeah, 114. I say okay, 114. So if I have it as 114 in that point of view, so it means that now I need to mirror this sketch that I have onto between the other side and downward. So I have to come to mirror. You need to tap on this line, and this line, mirror about this vertical line. It will come automatically. This side is okay. When you press enter, the mirror command comes back. So when you press enter, the recent command comes back. So I want to mirror this, this, and this along this line now. So you find that I have something related to this, and it is fully defined. So after me having something related to this, you find that now I just need to to exit the sketch. And when I zoom in, everything is okay. So now I just need to come to features and I just need to come to warp. When I come to warp, I need to extend this and I have to choose this surface or this sketch. So after me choosing the sketch, so now there are different kind of warp. The first one is emboss. Something like to be like embossed is like something is going to be excluding a border generating from it. Then I have something called the boss. Something to be the boss, it is like cutting into it. Then there is scribe. Scribe is like I'm just writing there. It's just a written without any thickness. It's like a sketch being reflected there. So I'll go with the boss and I have to choose warp feature. So on the faces, I can just select all my faces like this, like this, like this, and like this. So it's going to be reflected in that way. However, after it being reflected, you have to specify the depth of cut. For example, let me give it, I'm just giving it 8. So when I give it 8, down here the other options. So when I say tick, it will come as a cut. So I can now first hide this plane. So it will come as a cut like this. This is a warp and it has not penetrated this other side of my sketch. So after that, now I can go on with what you call the circular pattern, linear pattern, because here in sketches we have over many. There's mirror pattern, curve driven pattern. This one here comes in maybe when you are coming up with a chain or a sprocket. There's sketch pattern, table pattern, fill pattern. So let me go with circular pattern. Circular pattern, let me move on maybe with the face of rotation or edge. I can move on with this edge. With direction one, I can move on with this edge. Then here I can specify maybe I give in, for example, 36. And then here features to features and faces, I can just tap on warp. It will be reflected. So I mean, not, why is it freezing up? Yeah, I don't know, it was freezing. So it has reflected. So this is the reflection of how it's going to be. So maybe if you are keen and you see that things are not perfectly aligned onto these edges here, you can either give it 35. When you tap somewhere here, you can give in 35 or 34. For example, let me give in 34. It is still processing. Yeah, it is using rate of memory to process off of this. So, and when you force it, it will bring freezing or crashing. So when I set it and I just go on with that, it is processing now. I don't know, it's taking long. It is taking long on my side. It shouldn't. So it is processing and you find that now you have something related to this. So you find that there is a difference between Xcode cut and warp. So in most cases, when it comes to surfaces that are not straight, or surfaces that are not parallel to the planes, you find that you need to use warp features. Those are the warp features, and for this is a tire. You can go to materials and you can edit the materials. I can try to give it maybe rubber. Let me give it that one, and when I say okay and close, yeah, it comes as this. So you find that you have just used revolve boss, warp, and linear circular pattern to come up with that one. So to explain more of a warp, if I have something related to this on my front plane, and we are summing up something related to this on my front plane, you just need to do this, and I just cut off that, and that's what I have as a same circle, and I can just revolve this to give me a circular ball. So after me having this, for example, I want to write here something on this ball, could be a ball, so I just need maybe front plane. I choose front plane, and then maybe I can just choose a 3-point arc. I draw it just somewhere like this. I can make it to be construction, that is perfect. And then there is somewhere it's called the text. So when I come to text and I type in SWUG, I type in SWUG, and I have to choose a curve, and I tap onto it. So it's going to be along this curve, and I have maybe a kind of like this. So let me type in Nairobi City SWUG. So I have something related to this Nairobi City SWUG, and when I say tick, I can now come to my features. Warp is not active, so you just need to first exit the sketch, tap on warp. So it's going to get this sketch, and then you have to choose the face to be this face. So for this kind, when you zoom in a bit, you find that, for example, this is a cut. So when I just choose something to be like a scribe, and I say tick, when it comes on, it will not be any cut. It will just be like letters being written onto. Then it comes, that's a warp. However, when you want to cut it, when you want to cut deep, that means you just change and use the deboss, then also emboss to do an extrude cut. So I believe with that we have talked about this, and this is the difference between extrude cut versus a warp. And also there are some powerful resources if you want to discover more of them. And the first resources is the user group network, because every day there are many sessions that you can discover from. And also there is the 3D swim communities. 3D swim communities also, there is a lot of information onto them. And also there is SolidWorks built-in tutorials. Also you can use them to discover more. So allow me at this point, if there's any question, yeah, now the floor is open. If there's any question, then you can ask, and then I answer it. Thank you. Yes, if you have any question, then you can bring it up.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much, Edwin, for taking us through this session. I'm glad I've learned a lot during this evening, and I hope everyone has learned a lot, even including those who are beginners. I think you've been taken through this session in a very informative way, and the way the presenter was presenting this, uh, the work was well organized, and I believe in the future episodes I will be looking forward to have such sessions. So if you have any question, maybe you can let us, you can just type them, or you can just ask before the session ends. And also in the chat, we've shared a link for the participation, for the certificate of participation. So you can register so that you'll be issued with the certificate of participation. You can reshare it before the session ends. So if you have any question, you can just type it. And above all, thank you, Edwin, for showing up and also for your willingness to take us through the session.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for inviting me, Vincent and Charleston. Yes, thank you.
Hello, Edwin.
Yes, Charleston.
Uh-huh. It was an honor having you in, and we generally look forward to such great sessions and the knowledge you have dispensed today. It was generally worth it, and we even look forward to inviting you for more SWUG meetings and even for more growth and establishing a great engineering community as a whole. Thank you so much, and I truly appreciate that so much.
Okay, Charleston. Thank you. Welcome. As we're waiting for the questions, there is something that is CAD turns ideas into models, but generally it is engineering standards that turns models into reality. So this means that ever much you design and you're not following the basics of the standards, we are talking dimensions that you are using and also the material properties you are applying. Because, for example, when you design a body, for example, for an aircraft, it could be with all the dimensions required. But now when you come to the material properties and then you apply their galvanized steel or something related to cast iron, then that means that you have not followed the standards. Remember, this is an aircraft that is going to be flowing through space and it requires something that is right or as its body. So the best option there, it means that now we should have discovered more of properties of aluminium that it is right. So the standards are the one that turns into models, into reality. Otherwise, you can contact me via my LinkedIn. I use my names as Ntuyo Edwin. So come to LinkedIn, then yeah, you can contact me for anything that you wish to discover more. Could be the certification journey, could be the more hidden tricks. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Generally, I'm going to share this presentation and more of the revision books with Charleston. And I believe that maybe when he's posting the recording for review, he can also post the links to the drive that contains these materials. Thank you for coming in and thank you for attending. I wish you a blessed journey within the discovery of designing.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And thanks so much, Edwin, for such an insightful session. Thanks so much to my co host, Vincent, for handling the session quite well. And everyone for attending. Please share this with your friends and everyone. We'll we'll share the recording to our YouTube channel and everything. So stay tuned for more upcoming sessions and may you all have a wonderful evening and holidays as well for everyone. Have a wonderful night and adios. Adios, everyone.
And a blessed day, depending on the different time zone we are in. Next time.